This is a guided body scan practice. It's best to do this practice in a warm and protected space where you won't be disturbed. The body scan is often practiced lying down on a padded surface on the floor or on a bed, but it can also be done sitting or even standing. Finding a position that will allow you to be both alert and at ease. This is a practice of falling awake to your moment-by-moment experience, and your sincerity and intention are more important than any particular body position. Since we don't usually lie down except to go to sleep, if you choose a lying down position, taking care to support wakefulness during the practice. This might be as simple as keeping the eyes softly open, or you can bend one or both arms at the elbows with the fingers pointing towards the sky. So if you do begin to nod off, your hands will fall to the floor, a gentle, soft reminder to stay awake. The body scan is an awareness practice, as we bring a kind and interested attention to each part of the body. We are simply attending to and being present with whatever sensations may be felt. Warmth or coolness, moisture or dryness, pressure, contact, tingling, tightness or openness. Sensations may be strong or subtle, or sometimes completely undetectable. We may find sensations we like, or sensations we wish to avoid as we travel through the body. Thoughts and emotions may also be present. Everything can be held in awareness. Whatever is present is what is, and our knowing it is an opportunity to be intimate with and befriend the body and ourselves just as we are, without trying to change anything, including even making anything better or trying to get anything from the practice. Your own care and intention is all that's required. If strong sensations or emotions arise, you have a choice in responding. Opening the eyes can offer stability and clarity, and you might choose to continue the body scan with the eyes open. This is always an option. You can also change position, making a slight shift, or moving from lying down to sitting, or vice versa. You might choose to return your attention to a familiar anchor. This might be the sensations of breathing, or the touch points of the body, or sound. You can also choose to widen the focus of attention from the narrow region that we're exploring to the entire body. Any of these options can be a familiar home base to support steadiness and focus. You may also choose to gently investigate the strong sensations or emotions with a caring, gentle attentiveness that you're cultivating in practice. Asking yourself, is it a pulling or a tightness? Jagged or smooth? Dull or sharp? Where exactly am I feeling the emotion? Is it in the chest or the throat? What exactly is it like? Doing this while taking care not to push beyond your limits. These choices may change day to day depending on resources, mood, or other factors. You are in charge. The invitation is to explore and experiment within the body scan, with kindness, staying within your limits, and practicing friendliness towards yourself. And now taking the position for today that will support you, lying down flat, or perhaps with your knees bent to support the lower back, or sitting up. Whichever position you choose, finding a relative balance. So, if you're lying down, uncrossing the legs, allowing the arms to be by your sides, palms facing up if that's comfortable for you, or letting the hands rest on the belly. If you're sitting or standing, letting the body cooperate with gravity so that any excess tension of holding the body up can be released. As the body finds its own level, you might notice its signals. A long sigh perhaps, or an opening in the lower belly, a softening of the face, or a letting go of the weight into the support of the floor or chair. This too is all part of the body scan. Coming to relative stillness with a quiet alertness, being present. Now expanding the field of awareness to include the entire body, from the top of the head, through the length to the toes and the fingertips, to the front and back, and to the sides. Noticing the subtle movement now, even in this stillness. The waves of the breath, and how in each moment sensations are arising, staying a while, and changing or dissolving. Present to this ever-changing sensational field of the body. And now, when you're ready, gathering the attention, focusing, and moving it like a torch beam down through the body, down the left leg, to wherever the left foot is making contact with the floor or mat. Exploring this contact. And now widening to include the entire sole of the left foot. What is sensed here? Temperature. The feeling of air or sock or the floor. Tingling or numbness. Perhaps no sensation at all. Bringing the attention to the heel, the arch, the outer edge of the sole, and gradually into the whole width and length of the sole. And moving now to the base of the undersides of the toes, aware of each curve of each toe, big toe to the little toe. Now moving to the tops of the toes, the toenails, the knuckles. You might even sense the space between the toes or where they touch each other. And now coming to the top of the foot, the delicate skin at the surface, the bones and tendons deeper in. And when you're ready, moving the attention up to the left ankle, this bony joint, feeling the Achilles tendon at the back and maybe the subtle pulse at the front. Awake to any and all sensations in the ankle. Now drawing the attention up to the calf and shin. If you're lying down, perhaps feeling the fullness of the calf. Sensations of pressure at the surface, as well as the core of the lower left leg. Now arriving at the left knee, the kneecap in front, the sides of the knee, the soft back of the knee. What are you aware of here? Making your way now up to the left thigh, from the knee all the way up to the hip. The length and weight. Perhaps a sense of muscularity here. This is where some of the largest muscles of the body are. Feeling into the inner and outer thigh, the hip socket, the leg connects to the trunk of the body. And whenever you notice that attention has wandered from where we are in the body scan, this is actually a moment of practice, being fully present and choosing with kindness and firmness to return to wherever we are in the body scan, which right now is the left thigh. Now broadening the field of awareness and feeling the entire left leg. Full length of the left leg, the back and front and sides, from the hip to the toes. Resting in awareness while breathing. And now gathering the attention from the entire left leg and drawing it across the pelvis and moving down the right leg to wherever the foot is making contact with the surface it's on. Present to sensations. And now widening the lens of attention to the entire right sole, exploring the heel, the arch, and the length of the sole. Feeling into the undersides of the toes, each one curled or straight, the very tips of the toes. And now bringing attention around to the tops of the toes, how each toe connects to the foot. And now exploring the broad expanse of the top of the foot. and feeling the interior of the foot, muscles, bones, tendons. And now moving into the right ankle, with your attention circling the right ankle, exploring what sensations are present here. And now moving upwards to the right calf and shin, bringing a friendly interest to what sensations are available in this region of the body, the surface as well as the interior. And awareness now moving to the right knee, exploring the entire perimeter of this joint, including what can be known about the angle of the joint from the inside. And directing the attentional lens now up to the entire right thigh, front, sides, and back of the thigh. What can be felt here? All the way to the right hip socket. Weight, volume, thickness. Now allowing this caring attentiveness to extend to the entire length and fullness of the right leg, from the hip down to the toes, resting with full awareness of the right leg, breathing. And now collecting and gathering your attention from the right leg and inhabiting the pelvic region, feeling into the lower belly in front, the hips, and moving round to the sensations of contact in the buttocks and tailbone if you're lying down or sitting. Sensing the genital and anal regions. Sensations that may be present deep in the interior of the body, and sensations towards the surface, perhaps felt with the touch of clothing. And now guiding your awareness to the lower back, where the spine comes out of the pelvic girdle, opening to each side of the spine here, and experiencing whatever sensations are present right now. This is a part of the body where there is often tension or discomfort. There may be sensations of some intensity here. So now giving this region your full attention, maybe breathing with the sensations, and bringing to this region and to each region of the body a sense of kindliness, gentleness. Remembering you always have choices. So now releasing the lower back and moving the attention further up the back to the back of the waist, including the spine in this region. What are you noticing here? And spreading the awareness further up the spine now and into the back of the rib cage. Sensing the movement here. And now coming to the upper back, all the way to the base of the neck, including the shoulder blades. Feeling pressure or contact if you're lying down or sitting against something firm. Or maybe if you're standing or sitting, there's a sense of the muscles that are working to stay upright. Now when you're ready, widening the focus to include the whole of the back and perhaps breathing with these sensations. And now letting go of the back and travelling down the front of the torso into the abdominal region, becoming aware of the stomach, the intestines, perhaps feeling sensations of digestion, maybe a sense of fullness or emptiness, possibly becoming aware of the organs in this region, and feeling the movement of the abdomen as it rises and falls with the in-breath and the out-breath. And now, allowing your attention to move from the belly into the chest. Feeling the lungs inflate and deflate as the body receives the in-breath and releases the out-breath. And noticing how the rib cage expands and contracts in sync with the lungs. And now, tuning into the heart, seated in the chest. What are you noticing in your heart in this moment? Cradling it with your attention. This area is often associated with emotions. The heart is often called the seat of emotions. And right now, you may be aware of the emotional weather that's here. Perhaps a breeze of contentment, or a cloud of sadness, a feeling of loneliness or ease, maybe some other emotion. No need to change anything. Just taking a reading of what is present. Perhaps even welcoming it, since it's already here. And now exploring sensations in the breasts or the pectoral muscles. The collarbones. What's here? And slowly opening out the attention to include the whole of the front of the torso, from the abdomen up to the chest. Breathing with these sensations. And when you're ready, guiding the attention down both arms to the fingertips and thumb tips of the hands. Just noticing what's here in this moment. Are there any differences between the right hand and the left hand? You may feel some pulsation from the blood flow here. Moisture or dryness, warmth, coolness, tingling. And moving the attention now into your fingers and thumbs themselves, the insides as well as the surface sensations. Aware of the sensations of fingers touching each other, the spaces between them, the curve of each finger and thumb. And now expanding the awareness to include the palms of both hands and the backs of the hands. And moving the attention into the wrists, these delicate and complicated joints. Perhaps picking up on the pulsation of blood flow. So expanding the awareness now to hold the whole of both hands in your attention, present with sensations. And releasing now your hands and coming into the forearms. Experiencing these parts of the body as they are. And moving the attention into the elbows, feeling into the soft, bendable inner part of the inner elbow and the harder, bony outer part. And now moving further up the arms and becoming aware of the upper arms, right up to the armpits on the inside and the shoulders on the outside. Maybe noticing the way the arm bones rest in the shoulder sockets. And when you're ready, expanding the awareness to hold both arms and hands, breathing with these sensations. And now releasing the arms and hands and bringing the attention into the shoulders, becoming aware of the tops of the shoulders, the sides and the backs of the shoulders. Noticing the muscles here, really exploring the shoulders. This is an area where tension often resides. Bringing a kindly attention to whatever you encounter as you rest your interest in the shoulders. And now, gathering the attentional lens to the neck region and exploring the sensations here. The throat at the front. Maybe noticing the air going through this region when you breathe. The strong muscles at the sides and the back of the neck. The slender and delicate area of the uppermost spinal vertebrae. If you're sitting or standing, you might be very aware of the work that the neck is doing to hold the head upright. And now, coming to the back of the head, spreading the awareness across the scalp in all directions. Aware of hair or no hair. Awareness moving to the very top of the head. Perhaps sensing the hardness of the skull bones. And aware of the organ of the brain resting just beneath those bones. The weight of the brain inside the skull. And now bringing attention to the top of the forehead, to the hairline. And bringing a kind, gentle interest to the whole face. Starting at the forehead, this broad expanse. Temple to temple, between the hairline and the eyebrow ridge. And now, awareness tracing the bony orbit of each eye socket. Aware of the eyeballs resting here. The protective eyelids covering the eyes or blinking. And even with the eyes closed, noticing whatever stimuli the eyes are receiving. Lightness, darkness, smattering of colours. Maybe even the delicate sense of the eyelashes. And moving now to the place between the eyes, where the nose begins, and coming down the nose, aware of the sides of the nose, the nostrils, where the air may be making its way in and out of the body. And awareness now sweeping from the nose across the planes of the cheeks, sensing the bones and flesh of the face from the inside. Coming to the ears now, noticing surface sensations in the outer ears, including the earlobes, the back of the ears. And now exploring what can be felt deep inside the ears as they do their work of constantly receiving vibrations in the air that we call sound. And now allowing awareness to follow the right and left jaw bones from the base of the ears down to the center of the chin. The underside of the chin. And moving up to the mouth, the corners of the mouth, moist or dry, rough or smooth. And awareness now discovering the universe of sensation inside the mouth. Teeth, gums, and tongue. The roof and floor of the mouth, the insides of the cheeks. Now awareness moving outside the mouth and broadening to include the whole face, including the skin and the interior of the head. Allowing it all to rest, letting go into gravity, letting everything in the head region rest and soften. And now widening and expanding awareness as it flows down beyond the head into the neck, out across the shoulders, down both arms all the way to the fingertips. Awareness also spreading down the front and back and sides of the torso. And down into both legs and feet. Present and awake to the body in its entirety. Complete as it is. And in these last moments of the practice, appreciating yourself for giving this time to yourself, no matter what happened, whether you fell asleep, whether your mind went in a million directions, whether challenges arose, or even whether there was a little peace or some calm. The sincerity of your presence and any kindness that found its way in, and just showing up is enough. As you hear the sound of the bell, allowing this to be a moment of transition, letting the sound be the anchor to the present moment as you collect and gather yourself for the next part of your day or evening.